Social media, a new frontier. These are the voyages of Chat of Champions.
Rising up to the knowledge of father. Fuck you, just a man that is will to survive. I kill you, you evil shit, die. Fuck you, die. You drink my goddamn piss. Oh my God, I could have fought you in the first place. I shit your father's fucking face. Alright.
And remember, fellow podcast listeners, with a great podcast comes great responsibility.
Hello everybody and welcome once again to Chat of Champions. I'm Casey Strong. On this edition, we're going to answer some questions. We're going to take another trip forward through time and cinema and all kinds of other fun stuff. But first, I've put together a little skit for you. Actually, it's not a little skit. I meant it to be a little skit, but whenever I sit down and write a little skit, it turns into a big fucking story. But it didn't turn into a 41 fucking page story like the Batman Spider-Man story turned into. It wasn't intended to be that long, but it was epic, wasn't it? Anyway, y'all know Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I'm sure it's everybody's favorite cartoon. I know it's personally one of mine. I'm going to do some Carl and some Master Shake and some Frylock impressions, and I'm returning or bringing back my Adam West impression. You see, Carl is constantly kicking Master Shake out of his pool. Constantly. And he pushed Shake too far this time. And by Shake standards, you don't have to really do anything to push him too far because he seems like he knows everything. He's confident in himself that he knows everything, but he knows nothing. Highly illogical. As you all know. And if you don't know, you'll come to find out. So, without further ado, Batman is going to try to keep the peace between Carl and Master Shake. I don't envy him. Anyway, Carl steps out of his house ready for a swim on a beautiful day in his private pool. The only thing almost as good as internet porn is a refreshing dip in my... What the hell are you doing in my pool? Oh, good morning, Carl. I'm just taking an early morning swim. I knew you wouldn't mind. Yeah, I don't mind. Go ahead. Swim in my pool. While you're at it, watch my TV. Drink my beer. Crap in my toilet. Sleep in my bed. While you're at it, why don't you just live in my house? I'll be living in my car. Well, that's awfully generous of you, Carl, but I couldn't take your house. I have morals. Shut up, Cup! Just shut up! Leave my property before I make you leave! Did you ever think that you might have a few more friends if you weren't such an ass to people? That's it! I'm getting my gun! Fine! I will be the bigger man and leave the baby alone since he never learned how to share. I know how to share bullets real good. Back in the house, Master Shake prepares for revenge. Where is it? Where's what, Shake? You know what, Frylock? My flamethrower! What the hell for? Carl has rudely kicked me out of his pool every day this week. Shake, he's kicked you out of his pool every day for the last decade. Whatever! The point is, he insulted me, so naturally, I have to burn his house down. I sold it, Shake. It's gone. What? What kind of monster are you? Now what am I supposed to do? I don't know. Call Batman for all I care. Well, maybe I will. Later, many states away. The bat phone! Batman here. What? A water emergency. Great Scott! I'll be right there. Some twisted fiend is poisoning New Jersey's water supply. There's not a moment to lose. Jersey is quite the distance from here. The Batmobile simply will not do. To the Batwing! Meanwhile, back with Master Shake. Shake? You just can't tell somebody that Carl's poisoning New Jersey. Frylock, what kind of person do you think I am? You know me. I wouldn't do something like that. Unless I have legitimate reasons, and I have reasons! Carl is going to pay for being so damn selfish. It's the man's private pool. Just because it's his private pool doesn't mean he can keep the public out of it, Frylock. Actually, no, never mind. Wait, who was that you were talking to? You said call Batman, so I did. You're serious? Has a heart attack. His ass is grass. Moments later. What's that damn plane doing in our yard? The Batwing! It's Batman! Step aside! Get out of my way! Greetings, citizen. Is there a burger to go with this, Shake? Ha 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 ha! Really? Is that the best the world's greatest detective could come up with? The old batwit's never been sharper. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go kick some ass! I'm here to serve justice. Nothing more. Ah! Come on! You're starting to make me wish I'd called Aquaman. The dysfunctional duo march next door. What? You have got to be frickin' kidding me. No one's kidding you, you fat piece of crap! Prepare for an ass whooping! Calm yourself, chum. Sir, my name is... I know who you are, Batman. What the hell are you doing on my porch with that cup? Well, According to this young milkshake, you've poisoned New Jersey's water supply, and I'm going to take you down. Oh no! You got me. I guess I couldn't get this one past you, Batman. Let me go inside and get all the evidence you need to make your conviction, okay? Just, excuse me for one moment. Is that how you fight crime? With words? Not always. Sometimes I throw a batarang. Or fire this awesome grappling hook. That is so badass! Eat lead, bitch! You may have disposed of the milkshake man, but you are no match for... The Moonanites return for your drugs. There is a drug shortage on the moon, and there has been for some time, for it is the moon. So give us your drugs or be destroyed! You're gonna be destroyed. What? Yeah, bitch! Take that! Yeah! But let the bullets rain, motherfuckers! Yeah! You finally did it, huh, Carl? Oh. I'll give you $20, Fry Man, if you blow all these bodies up with your laser eyes and pretend like you never saw anything. I don't know what came over me. It's a deal, Carl. Don't worry about it. Happens to the best of us. And that's the end of this tale. Dancing is forbidden. No. Anyway, that's my skit for this evening. I hope you all enjoyed that. Frylock forgave Carl. I think I would forgive Carl. I think we all would forgive Carl. Surprised he didn't do it earlier. Anyway, moving on, man. I believe it's time to step in the Chat of Champions time machine. Take a trip forward through time and cinema. We're going to take a look at movies that are coming to theaters near you in a year or so. Let's see what we got first on the block here. This is good. This is good. You're going to like this. Everybody's going to like this. Tom Hardy. We all know him lately from The Dark Knight Rises. He played Bane. You thought it was funny that you would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane. Well, this time, it's funny that he thinks it's funny that you would choose him to be the next Road Warrior. Yes, that's right. Tom Hardy is going to be the next Road Warrior. He is taking Mel Gibson's role and is continuing his streak of epic silver screen appearances, including Dread and a few other projects that he's going to be involved in. Currently in the filming process, Mad Max, the new Mad Max movie, man, Mad Max Fury Road, is set to be released in June of 2013. Now, the production history of this movie has been kind of crazy. George Miller directs this latest installment of the post-apocalyptic franchise. Production actually began in 2009, But Mother Nature had other plans, man. She halted that bitch with monsoon-like rains, causing flowers to bloom, which is totally ideal for the post-apocalyptic fucking atmosphere we needed for this movie. No. So, production was obviously halted until actually this last July. So, they are shooting for June of 2013, but who knows? Number of things could happen to delay this process further. But definitely looking forward to the next installment of the Road Warrior franchise, Mad Max Fury Road, coming to a theater near you, hopefully very fucking soon. Next one, man, for all you Kevin Smith, View Askew, and Smodco fans, man. Kevin Smith is and has long been pondering on what possibly may be his final film, sadly. But, hey, I understand, and I'm sure all of his true fans understand too. And as he has explained on his podcast that, you know, an artist can't just make movies that he doesn't love. Some artists can, but he's a particular artist that can't. So, he is going to be done making movies pretty much because, you know, he doesn't want to make movies that he's not into making. He doesn't, you know, want to make movies just to make movies. He wants to make movies that mean something. And this movie, I believe, is going to mean something to all the hockey fans out there. That's right, a hockey movie. Oh, shit. Kevin Smith is directing a hockey movie. Kevin Smith Hit Somebody is set to be released sometime in 2013. That's still to be announced. This film is depicting a hockey player with a talent for fighting, based on the song of the same name by Warren Zevon, which was written by Mitch Albom. So definitely looking forward to that, man. Kevin Smith Hit Somebody. Keep an eye out for that. Next up, let's see. Tommy Wirkola directs Jeremy Renner and, let's see, I want to pronounce this right. Gemma Arterton? The G could be silent, so it could be Emma Arterton. But anyway, we'll call her Emma Arterton for the purpose of some simplicity. Tommy Wirkola directs Jeremy Renner and Emma Arterton to hunt witches for revenge in a film that has been described as Pulp Fiction as a fairy tale. Check this out. Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters. No shit. I'm not shitting anybody. 15 years after the infamous gingerbread house incident, Hansel and Gretel return as a brother-sister team of expert bounty hunters seeking revenge against the witches of the world. This is set to be released January 25th, 2013. That is going to be something to see. I can't imagine. That's probably one of my favorite fairy tales, but this is definitely not going to be for kids, man, so don't plan on taking your kids to that movie. Next up, we got a few for you fucking horror junkies out there, man. I know I'm one. I know all the other fucking podcast listeners out there are probably horror junkies too. The horror classic Carrie is getting a reboot with the ever phenomenal Chloe Moretz in the title role. Chloe Moretz also obviously best known for the Kick-Ass movies. The second one currently in the filming process, which is actually going to also star Jim Carrey, so that ought to be interesting. But anyway, back to the Carrie movie. And if you've never seen Chloe Moretz in a fucking horror movie, go check out Let Me In. Fucking unnerving, unsettling. Like, You know, especially if you're a little kid and you watch that movie, it'll probably give you nightmares, and for little boys, it'll probably never make you want to ever talk to girls ever. But it's a phenomenal fucking movie, man. Go check out Let Me In, starring Chloe Moretz, which is also gonna play Carrie in this fucking reboot, which is set to be released March 15th of 2013. And if you haven't seen the original Carrie movie, it's pretty much a story about a little girl who unlocks kinetic powers, or I guess not little girl. It's a story of a high school girl who unlocks telekinetic powers. Sorry. And as the plot goes for the new movie, Carrie, I'm pretty sure it's the same fucking shindig. A sheltered high school girl suffering under her religious mother, who is played in the new version by Julianne Moore. So she fucking abuses her child, or doesn't abuse her child, but is, you know, I don't know, man. It's been so fucking long since I've seen the first Carrie. I probably shouldn't have even started reminiscing on it, but the main part that anybody needs to remember about that movie, and spoilers if you haven't seen it, is during the prom scene, her friends, or her so-called friends, probably not her friends, the mean girls of the high school pull this nasty prank where they dump pig blood all over her on stage as she gets elected for prom queen, which, if I remember correctly, was a big ruse just to get her on stage for this prank. And she ends up walking around the prom and fucking lighting everybody on fire afterwards with her telekinetic powers that has been increased tenfold by this horrendous prank. But if you haven't seen Carrie, go check out the original. But this new version, set to be released March 15th of next year, gonna be an instant classic, I think. Up next, all the horror fans are gonna crap themselves if they haven't already heard about this. Everyone's favorite book written in blood will be opened once again. The Evil Dead is back without Bruce Campbell. Sad face. Sad. Nah, Bruce is too old to be wielding that chainsaw. No offense, Bruce. Bruce is replaced by Jane Levy as the protagonist of the film. Sam Raimi and Diablo Cody are responsible for the script, which is said to be very different than the original and bloodier than ever before, with an R rating. The plot puts 5 20-something-year-old friends in a cabin where they discover the Book of the Dead and unwittingly summon up dormant demons living in the nearby woods. These forces possess the youngsters in succession until only one is left intact to fight for survival. And it gets into their hand and it goes bad, I'm assuming. But anyway, look out for the Evil Dead reboot. Let's see. Do I have a fucking date on this bitch? April 12th, 2013. So, look forward to that. Coming to a theater near you. On June 14th, 2013, could be the end of the world. No, not for us, but for James Franco and Seth Rogen. In a comedy based on the acclaimed short Jay and Seth versus the Apocalypse. This movie is entitled, ironically, The End of the World. An impressive all-star cast including Jonah Hill, Emma Watson, Jason Segel, Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, Michael Cera, and Rihanna will play themselves as they attend a party at James Franco's house, which is dramatically derailed by the news of a looming apocalypse, Will this star-studded cast of celebrities be able to survive the impending end of the world? Or will Hollywood antics get in the way? Seth Rogen is actually directing this bitch along with Evan Goldberg, so instant comedy classic right there in front of your faces, man. Let's see. What's next? What could be next? What could we follow that shit up with? How about a multi-million-dollar, for sure, blockbuster? Fuck. What do we got? What has Hollywood pumped millions of dollars into now? And who the fuck have they put at the helm? Well, let's find out. Shall we? The release date for this epic Hollywood blockbuster is April 19th, 2013. Hollywood has invested millions into a supposed visually amazing sci-fi epic, and I shouldn't say supposed. I've seen photographs. It's fucking amazing. I mean, pretty much take any post-apocalyptic world scenery you've seen in a movie and times it by 10. It's fucking amazing. Anyway, who's at the helm of this bitch? Well, none other than Tom Cruise.
Oh.
No, we don't. You don't need to go, it's not that bad. I mean, War of the Worlds was good. And Mission Impossible, alright, I personally wasn't into Mission Impossible, but he's made good movies. You know, made a few bad ones too, but mostly some good movies. Top Gun, which we'll probably see another one, by the way, another Top Gun, which we'll save for a later podcast. But anyway, yeah, Tom Cruise is at the helm of this multi-million-dollar blockbuster entitled, are you ready? Oblivion. Mr. Cruise plays Jack Harper, who very well might be the last man on Earth. The planet has dissolved into something beyond our imagination, a ruined, destroyed civilization. Jack is there as a drones repairman. His job is to keep the killing machines intact so they can find and hunt down scavs, an alien race who are responsible for the planet's doom. When he rescues a human stranger from a crashed spacecraft, his beliefs are shaken to the core. Already sounds epic, so let's see. The director, Joseph Kosinski, which is responsible for the TRON Legacy. If you've seen those, I have to admit, I personally haven't, and there's probably people out there going, "What? You haven't seen TRON?" Hyperventilating. Well, calm down. Now, if I said I hadn't seen Star Wars, which I shit you not, I work with a dude who has never seen Star Wars and has no desire to see Star Wars, and it makes me want to punch him in the face every time I see him, but just because of that. But anyway, enough about Star Wars. So Joseph Kosinski returns with a film whose visuals are set to be matched by an equally awesome soundtrack. French electronic band M83 are rumored to have provided Oblivion with an emotional triumphant score. So, I don't know. Just by seeing the photographs of this movie, I'm pumped. And I myself have no vendetta against Tom Cruise, so I can live with the fact that Tom Cruise is putting on a badass fucking hell. And Go look up on the internet the photos for this movie, fucking Oblivion. It's amazing. Like this, like the fucking cover photo that I saw is him fucking sitting on this perch looking over this barren wasteland, and in the middle of it is a crevice, and there's a fucking ruined city falling into it, and he's sitting there in this badass suit with his fucking amazing fucking helmet on, like he's like a desert stormtrooper. It's badass. Anyway, so Kosinski is reported to have worked on this movie for 10 years. So, again, we shouldn't be disappointed. I like to cap off our little trip through fucking time in cinema with a movie that just makes you go ahead, you can do it now.
Oh.
Yeah, makes you do that. Arnold Schwarzenegger, yes, I got to make so many more movies because I lost all my money to lawsuits and my wife because I can't keep my dick in my pants and I fucked the help and you know, I'm just funny that way, you know, me and my biceps have to go make more movies. Arnold Schwarzenegger will be seen quite frequently on the big screen in the coming years, with titles such as The Last Stand, The Tomb, which we will talk about on a later podcast for sure. And I'm going to take a second and just tell you a quick little rundown of The Tomb, because this is too good for me to keep to myself. I can't. It's just too good. Sylvester Stallone, this is a Sylvester Stallone run project, the third collaboration between Arnold and Sylvester. Sylvester Stallone is wrongly accused and thrown in prison. And it's actually a prison that he designed. He designs this impenetrable prison and this unescapable prison. And he is, ironically, wrongly accused and is thrown into this prison. And he meets two inmates. One of them is, of course, fellow inmate Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've been in here for many years. Me and my biceps committed some murders, and no, I don't know what Arnold's in for in the movie, but the thing that got me is the one who's playing Arnold's buddy, or as I'm assuming he's Arnold's prison buddy, which is 50 Cent. Go ahead, laugh. I did. I'm chuckling to myself right now because just picturing Arnold Schwarzenegger and fucking 50 Cent. You know, new dynamic duo, I guess. Anyway, the title that really caught my eye that Arnold will be appearing in is a second Twins movie. Yeah, you heard me right. Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger are teaming up once again. The dynamic duo is back. Not really. And this sequel is entitled Triplets. In case you didn't guess, they discover they have a brother. And their brother is none other than Eddie Murphy. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, and Eddie Murphy. So, yeah, they're triplets. Triplets! There's no release date or a director named for this train wreck yet. Thank God. So, let us out of this fucking time machine. Let's go back to the present day, shall we? Ah, it's good to be back. I posted on Twitter, I posted a couple different scenarios. First, I asked people to come up with some topics or things they wanted me to talk about or wanted to hear me talk about. And then later, I did get one response, and later, I just changed it. Excuse me. And just simplified it a little bit and just asked for questions. And didn't do much better. But I got 2 responses. 2. So altogether, I got 3 Twitter responses to share with y'all. So, first off, we're gonna start with the topic, which was actually tweeted in by a friend of mine. Let's see. Ah, here we go. Here's his Twitter handle. Let's see. This topic from Robert Campbell at illiterate503. He writes, and this is kind of funny, and I quote, "How shitty WWE has become." He wants me to explain how shitty WWE becomes, and the funniest part is the hashtag. Hashtag fan for forever a fan. Hashtag forever a fan, sadly. Isn't that great? Alright, here's my opinions, I guess, on this particular topic. I think that's a little unfair. I mean, it's not shitty. I mean, they gotta appeal to the wider demographic. They gotta that's how they get more ratings than anybody else on cable television, is they make it just edgy enough to where the hardcore fans like us will tune in, and they tone it down just enough to where the parents don't say, "Why am I letting my kid watch this?" And you got to be careful. I mean, I'll tell you a funny story. My parents didn't sit me down and explain to me that some of the stuff they do on this, you shouldn't do around other people, okay? See, I would run around and do the DX crotch chops around the house at like 6 or 7 years old, and my parents would find it funny. They would laugh, and that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, because one day, getting off the bus, I thought it would be funny to turn around and do it to the bus driver. Yes, I screamed, I've got 2 words for you, and I said suck it, and did the DX crotch chop at fucking 7 years old. And yeah, I got needless to say, I got in a lot of trouble for it. So, of course, they had to tone it down for reasons like that, and, you know, just shut the parents up, pretty much. Bottom line, shut the fucking parents up. That's why they got TNA. So if you want blood and people calling other people bitches and shit, tune into Spike TV on fucking Thursday nights at 8 o'clock and watch TNA. So anyway, that's my opinions on that. Moving on. At Pot Sucks, I'm moving on to my questions. When I moved on, I get 2 questions. First one, not a very serious question, but I will answer it. At Pod Socks asked, "How strong are you?" My name's Casey Strong. Ha ha ha. "How strong are you? Could you lift a camel over your head?" I don't know. I've never tried. I could lift a mouse. Maybe I could lift a house. Maybe I could lift a trout. Maybe I'm just that stout. Okay, I'll stop trying to be Dr. Seuss. Don't know. Never tried. Probably couldn't. They weigh a good 1,000 pounds, probably. Moving on. Probably not that much. Probably exaggerating. Moving on to a question that I could actually do something with. I actually have a story for this one. This is good. This was a good question. Thank you for this question, Dantastic at DanRit81. He asked me, any particular comic or storyline that influenced your love for comics? What a fucking sensible question. Thank you for your intelligent question, sir. Actually, yes, there was a particular comic book that influenced my love for comics. It was owned by my dad. He owned this comic book that was the actual story was published, Tarzan of the Apes by Edgar Rice Burroughs. It was actually published in 1914, but this particular book that my dad had was a reprinted in probably the 60s or 70s or some shit. And it was an awesome book, and I heard that they are reproducing the actual story this year, and I hope it's fucking half as amazing as the print that I read was. Now, according to the original story, Tarzan's parents give birth to Tarzan on a ship, and his name's not Tarzan. They actually name him John Kerchak, or not John Clayton Kerchak. Where was Kerchak from? Kerchak was the name of the gorilla that I believe that fucking he ended up having to kill. But anyway, name was John Clayton, which the Disney movie actually fucked up the story and made John Clayton the name of the bad guy in the movie, which didn't make sense. It kind of, for me, ruined the story. But anyway, this fucking book had phenomenal fucking artwork in it. I remember being 6, 7, 8 years old. I read it multiple times. And it starts off, his parents come to are shipwrecked on this island. And they're killed. I believe, I can't remember, it's been so long. Unfortunately, I don't have this book anymore. It got ruined. I'll tell you that story here in a minute. But I believe they got killed by, I believe Kerchak ended up killing him, I hope I'm getting the name right of the villain gorilla, or whoever is responsible for this. But anyway, Kerchak ends up killing the fucking parents, or a leopard. Either Kerchak or a leopard kills the parents, and Tarzan is left alone, and a gorilla happens upon baby Tarzan and ends up raising him. But I remember this was a phenomenal fucking book, and the reason I do not have this book anymore is because, and it was amazing, it had already survived a fire. The book was singed black all the way around the edges, but the cover was in pristine condition. That was a badass part. But anyway, it got ruined because, unfortunately, it was in a closet in a box, and a pipe broke. For some reason, where I was living at the time, whoever designed the place didn't fucking design it right. The pipe that should have been inside the wall, the water pipe, was actually outside the wall, and it broke and soaked the box that book was in. And the way the book was positioned, that was like the first thing the water soaked, and it broke in the middle of the night, so it sat there for hours getting sprayed on with water. And by the time it had been discovered, sadly, that book was ruined. But it was a phenomenal fucking graphic novel, and it was the first of a series about 12, which the publications were continued in the 1940s, I believe. But that's one book I know that if I ever find again, I'm picking it up in a heartbeat. So that was probably the first story and comic book that I ever read that really made me love comics. So thank you, Fantastic, for your highly intelligent question. And I will probably be making question answering a part of every single fucking podcast I do from now on. So go ahead, at any time you feel you see fit, follow me on Twitter at CaseyStrong4 and tweet me your questions. That's CaseyStrong 4. Tweet me your questions. any fucking questions. Ask me any fucking thing at all. Don't be shy. I'm not afraid to answer what's rattling, any fucking question that's rattling up in that brain that you need answered. I can answer it. So tweet them in, man. They might end up right here on Chat of Champions, like these lucky individuals did. Wow, they're so lucky. Anyway, moving on, man, to this week's Comic of Champions. That's right, I've done this segment once before, and I will continue to do it. I browse my Twitter, usually my followers, but sometimes I will go outside my followers and find some webcomics. I love webcomics. I love all comics in general, indie comics, webcomics, any fucking comics at all. I love to read them. So I found one particular comic that was very, 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 very fucking phenomenal. It caught my eye immediately. This week's Comic of Champions is entitled Lilith Dark. It's an amazing fucking story. It's a story that just grabs a hold of the child inside you. Believe me, your inner child will be so fucking pleased by this story, and it's amazing because it's a story you can share your kid, man. It's fucking phenomenal. Lilith Dark is a dark fantasy adventure series following the ongoing adventures of Lilith Dark, a little girl with a wild imagination, a geeky big brother, a boy-crazy sister, a Rottweiler named Kitty, and a tree full of beasties in her backyard. And these beasties are all part of her imagination, of course. She creates amazing worlds with her imagination. Anyway, this comic was written and illustrated by award-winning fantasy and comic artist C. Dowd. So follow that cat on Twitter and fucking go to lilithdark.com and you can read issues 1 and 2 of this awesome comic. And here's a quote from C. Dowd himself. I was inspired to create Lilith Dark so that I could share my love for comics with my daughter, the same way I have with my son. In my opinion, the comics industry is seriously lacking in strong, relatable, non-sexualized female characters. There's also a lack of all ages material for young readers. Lilith Dark is meant to help fill that role. Unquote. That is the words of C. Dowd. Now, he's absolutely right. Most comics you see a lot of killing, and when there's not killing, there's still a lot of people getting punched in the face. But this is actually a comic that you can show your kid, man. And the first fucking panel captured my attention because when you excuse me, I'm losing my train of thought. She's in this suit of armor with a sword, and she's battling this dog, this huge monster dog. And you come to find out that it's her little Rottweiler, and she's feeding in this giant Tyrannosaurus Rex at the dinner table, which is actually a stuffed dinosaur, and imaginations are running wild. You know how you were a kid and everything that you would come in contact with became a part of your world somehow? Your little imaginary child world? Well, this is exactly what this is. A phenomenal fucking comic. Go to lilithdark.com and check out this awesome, awesome comic. You can read issues 1 and 2. Phenomenal fucking job, sir. Keep it up. You follow C. Dowd on Twitter, man. He's there too. Anyway, I was hoping to stretch this episode out a little more. That's why I've been kind of really taking it slow. I haven't been trying to speak too fast. I've been, trying to speak fast enough to keep people interested, but I was hoping to stretch this out a little bit farther. I've pretty much ran through all of what I've prepared. How about some audio, man? How about a fucked up piece of audio? Yeah, it is fucked up. I don't know why I would put this on, but it's to kill some time. I was looking for some audio, mainly of zombie noise. I was looking for some zombie audio, and I didn't find any of that, but I came across this, and I was like, why would they make an audio clip of this and put it on a Halloween album? So it made me cringe, so I would like to make you cringe with this audio. It'll either make you cringe or make you laugh. It made me do both, depending on what state I was in. But here's an audio of a man being eaten by a dog. Yes, they recorded audio of this, so here you go. This isn't real, by the way. This is all done on a sound stage. No real people or actual human beings were harmed. Isn't that fucked up, dude? Like, why would anybody get on a soundstage and record that shit? Anyway, I'll probably use that in a later podcast, too. I'll probably write a story and fucking insert that in there somehow. I think we pretty much run our course for this edition of Chat of Champions. Thank you for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed what I've had to offer. And I'm gonna I'll go through my normal. Follow me on Twitter at CaseyStrong4. That's CASEYSTRONG4. And check out all this edition of Chat of Champions and all the previous editions of Chat of Champions at youtube.com/KC's Chat of Champions. That's KCS Chat of Champions 2. Yes, there is a number 2 on the end of that. Oh, and just so you know, next week's edition of Chat of Champions will be a much better show, I promise you. Because since it's going to be fucking a couple fucking days before Halloween, that's what the show's going to be themed. It's going to be a Halloween special, man. We are going to pour through the entire history of the holiday. Yes. We're going to sit down and we're going to discuss the history of Halloween night. So, come back and join me for that little demonic history lesson. Let's check. So, to prepare for our creepy Halloween festivities next week, let's check in on Satan and see what he's doing. What's going on down there, Satan?
Bomb, baby. Bomb, baby.
Okay. Guess I interrupted him during happy time. Alright, that's it for me, man. Until next time, with a great podcast comes great responsibility. Have a good one, folks.